I just dunked 12 feet, baby. Let's go.
What's up, everybody? My name is Billy Duran from Dunkademics. Today I'm going to explain to you how it is impossible for Dexton Crutchfield to dunk on 12 feet. In this video, I'm going to talk about the limitations of vertical leap. I'm going to tell you approximately what Dexton's vertical is and what vertical he would need in order to dunk on a 12-foot rim. I'm also going to use frame counting in this video to help you determine how long he's in the air for each of his jumps and compare them on his dunks on different heights, as well as compare them to some of the other high jumpers that I've filmed before. Basically what I do is I film somebody's jump from the time his foot leaves the floor to the first time that his foot touches the ground, and this can kind of give you a pretty good estimate of how long he's in the air. The third thing I'm going to do is compare it to another great jump, which was Jonathan Clark dunking on an 11'8" rim. So Jonathan's a great comparison because he's taller, he has a higher reach, and he dunked a lower height than Dexton claims to have dunked. So I'm going to go into that later in the video. Now before I start this video, I know that I'm going to get a lot of hate comments. This video is not to hate on Dexton at all. The dude has bounce. My only issue is that he's lied about his videos and that people actually believe him. And the fact that people are actually believing his lies is leading to people commenting on my videos on my channel, and it's making it seem like other dunkers' accomplishments aren't as good. So I felt like I had a responsibility to kind of clear the air on this, to let you guys know that these particular dunks are not legitimate. I'm going to prove with 100% certainty that he did not dunk on 12 feet. So before you say that I'm hating, make sure that you can back up your claim with some proof. Because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you guys proof on why it is impossible for Dexton Crutchfield to dunk on 12 feet. So let's get into it. So the first bit of factual information that I have about Dexton is that his standing reach is 7 feet 6 inches. This is thanks to Isaiah measuring his reach at a Court Kings event. So doing some quick math, you'll see that the distance between a 7'6" reach and 12 feet is 54 inches just for Dexton to be able to touch the rim. Now, if you know anything about dunking, you're probably going to need about 5 to 6 inches above the rim to be able to throw down a dunk. This means Dexton would need a 60-inch vertical just to dunk one hand on 12 feet. Nobody on earth has even close to a 60-inch vertical. Dexton himself doesn't even jump 50 inches. How do I know that? I filmed Dexton, I filmed other guys with close to 50-inch verticals, and Dexton is not there. Now, I personally think that Dexton has slightly under a 50-inch vertical if he's jumping his very highest. So when you do the math, you're gonna see that Dexton can come nowhere near dunking on 12 feet. And that's not even mentioning the fact that he says that he dunks 12 feet with two hands, which is even harder to do than one hand, and you have to get even higher. So maybe you're talking about a 62-inch vertical for him to dunk with two hands on 12 feet. Now, I could really just stop the video right there. That totally proves that you can't dunk on 12 feet. I don't really need to say anything else, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to tell you why else he can't dunk on 12 feet. So for this portion of the video, I'm going to talk about frame counting. If you haven't seen my video comparing Daniel Cabella to Guy Oliver, I'm going to link it in the description. That was the first video that I talked about frame counting. Those guys are the two highest jumpers I've ever filmed, and both of those guys are right around 50-inch verticals. So when I used frame counting for those two, I figured that Guy Oliver had about a 59 frame count, and Daniel Cabella had about a 58 frame count. Then compare it to the dunk session that I did with Dexton, and his highest frame count was only 55 frames. This means he's jumping lower than Guy Oliver and lower than Daniel Cabella, who both might be slightly under 50-inch verticals. Now, in my session with Daniel Cabella, I actually got him to attempt to try to touch 12 feet. Daniel Cabella is 2 inches taller and has a way higher reach than Dexton does. Now on this jump, Daniel actually used the backboard to push himself up just a little bit, and he was barely able to reach the 12-foot mark. On this particular attempt, Daniel actually had a 59 frame jump. That's way higher than any of Dexton's jumps, and he barely got high enough just to touch 12 feet. You're also going to see I've lined up these videos pretty well. His dunks where he's actually touching the rim, which gives you an elevated frame count, he's still not even getting to that 59 frames. Here's his first dunk on 12 feet with one hand. As you can see, right here is where his foot leaves the ground. Right here is where his foot touches the ground. So even though he grabbed the rim, which gives you an elevated frame count because it keeps you in the air longer, he's still not getting to 59 frames, which is where Guy Oliver was. So how did he do this? Well, it should be obvious. The rim is just not 12 feet. Nowhere in any of Dexton's videos does he even attempt to measure the rim. He literally just puts rim heights on the screen and expects you guys to believe it. Now, Dexton being 5'9", he's very short, so when he's dunking on a 10-foot rim, even a 10-foot rim looks higher just because he's so short. So if he raises the rim even a little bit above 10, it looks insanely high. So I've already gone over the vertical that he would need to dunk on 12 feet. I've talked about the frame counting, and now I'm going to compare it to Jonathan Clark. So if you haven't seen the video, Jonathan Clark dunked 11 feet 8 inches outside at Venice Beach. Jonathan Clark also has a standing reach of 8 feet 2 inches. That's a whopping 8 inches higher than Dexton. So if you do some simple math, Jonathan Clark can reach 8 inches higher than Dexton. He has approximately the same vertical, maybe even a little bit higher, and Jonathan Clark only dunked an 11-foot 8-inch rim. So if you apply that same jump to Dexton, you subtract 8 inches of reach, that'll get you down to 11 feet. And then you also factor in that Dexton wasn't jumping as high, so you can tell that by the frames he was in the air. And just by those two factors, you can tell that the rim that Dexton was dunking on wasn't even 11 feet. That's crazy to think about. He lied by over a foot. Even if you give Dexton the benefit of the doubt, even if you say he has a 52-inch vertical, which I've never seen before, he still wouldn't even come close to dunking on 12 feet. But the fact is, he doesn't have a 52-inch vertical. He probably doesn't even have a 50-inch vertical on his best day, and he wasn't having his best days for those dunks on 12 feet. So you're looking at maybe a 45-inch vertical max on those 12-foot allegedly dunks. And basically, everything that I've said in this video should help you to realize that Dexton did not even come close to dunking on 12 feet. If you've watched this entire video and you still believe that Dexton dunks 12 feet, I feel sorry for you. There is no hope. The main thing that I wanted to do was to convince rational people that Dexton did not dunk 12 feet. It really is crazy because Dexton has edited so many things on his YouTube channel and on his Instagram before. You should almost expect everything he does to be fake. He edited the bounce dunk. He had someone edit a video to make it look like the basketball was on his head. He made an edit where he jumped over crocodiles. He edits every one of his thumbnails to make it look like he's 10 feet above the rim. When so much of what Dexton has done has been edited, you really have to question everything that he does. So when he makes an outrageous claim like that he dunks 12 feet, you have to just stop and think, like, is that even possible? And the answer is no. So with all that being said, I hope this video was informative. Again, no hate towards Dexton. Dexton is an amazing athlete. He jumps very high. He's one of the highest jumpers in the world. I just wanted to let you guys know that his 12-foot dunk was not 12 feet. And if you like this video, I hope you hit that subscribe button, like the video, leave your comments below. How high do you think Dexton can actually dunk? Also, let me know, who do you think in the dunk world right now could dunk 12 feet? In my personal opinion, I'd love to see guys like DJ Steffens, Joe Ballard, guys who are closer to 6'5", 6'6", who have incredible bounce. I think that both of those guys would have a really good chance of dunking 12 feet. So with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Now go watch some of my other videos where you can actually watch some dunks.